Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Raila Firdausi, Assistant Teacher, Day Shift. My dear students, hope that all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today I am going to take a class with the students of class 7. Our today's subject is Agriculture Studies. Today our lecture number is 9 and HW number is 7. My dear students, we will do chapter 5, lesson 5, 6, 7 discussion. And after having the discussion, you will submit HW from chapter 5, 6, 7, from chapter 5, lesson 5, 6, 7, 5 MCQ will do and you will submit. Now let's start our class. This is chapter 5 that is about agricultural production, and today we will read the cultivation process of guava. That is lesson 5. Guava is a popular fruit in Bangladesh. It is a vital source of vitamin C. This fruit grows more or less amount everywhere almost everywhere in the country, but it is cultivated commercially in Borishal, Pirojpur, Jhalkathi, Chattogram, Kumilla, etc. areas. In Bangladesh, we get many types of guavas. Among them, Kanchannagar, Swarupkathi, Mukundapuri, Kaji Peara, Bari Peara 2, Bari Peara 3 varieties are important. So you must underline the varieties of the guavas that may come as your MCQs. Now see the soil. Guava is a drought tolerant plant and it can grow in various types of soil. It can bear with slight salinity in the field. Fertile and deep loamy soil is good for commercial production. So don't forget to underline this, you must underline this. And this is also important that guava is a drought tolerant plant and it can grow in various types of soils. And the soil, it can bear with slight salinity in the field. Okay, then peat making. Guava saplings are chiefly planted between June and September. Okay, you have to memorize the time also. For planting seedlings, 60 cm into 60 cm into 60 cm holes are dug at 4 meter into 4 meter distances. Soil from the upper 30 cm part of the hole is kept on one side and the soil from the lower 30 cm part of the hole is kept on the other side. Then the soil of the upper part is put at the bottom and the hole is filled up with the lower part soil after being properly mixed with 5 to 7 kg decomposed cow dung manure, 200 gram TSP and 150 gram MOP. It is kept in this condition for 10 to 15 days. Now plantation of saplings. Seedlings are made from seeds and gutty grafting. Saplings from seeds are gutty grafting are planted in middle of the hole. The plant should be tied into a bamboo post to avoid tilting. To protect it from the cattle, bamboo-made cage or fence should be set around the plant. Now, application of fertilizer. If fertilizer is used in 3 equal installments in February, May and September, guava yields very well. It is not that the fertilizer should be given just at the root of the plant. Rather, it should be mixed properly with the soil and should be extended up to the area where the bolls and branches spreads. Irrigation is required after the use of the fertilizer. Amount of fertilizer according to the age of each plant. Name of the fertilizer and 1 to 3 years. Cow dung compost 10 to 20 kg, urea 150 to 300 gram, TSP 150 to 300 gram, MOP 150 to 300 gram. Now nurturing. About collecting fruits from the adult tree, branches should be amputated in August to September. If the branches are cut off, new branches grow and produce more fruits. To keep the tree fruit yielding always and to get quality fruits, 25 to 50% fruits should be ripe at the tender stage. At the time of bearing fruits, if irrigated intermittently after every 7 to 10 days during the months of April to June, the fruit production increases. Then disease pest management. Sometimes guava plants are attacked by fungal diseases. For these disease, tiny spots are seen on the body of the fruit and later they become bigger, creating sore in guavas. At these, the fruits get cracks on them and may get rotten. To prevent these diseases, fallen leaves and fruits should be collected from beneath the tree and be burnt down. After fruitage, mixture of 250 EC tilled with water at the ratio of 0.5 ml per 1 liter water should be sprayed 3 to 4 times after every 15 days at the bottom of the afflicted plant. Fruit collection. Kaji peara and bari peara produce fruits twice a year. When it is time for the fruits to ripen, its green color gradually turns to yellowish green. Fruit production varies depending on the age and species. A 4 to 5 years old tree yields 15 to 20 kg fruits. Now, lesson 6, cultivation process of papaya. Papaya is a very delicious, nutritious fruit and it is enriched in medicinal qualities. Papaya is eaten as a vegetable when it is green and is eaten as a fruit when it ripens. Papaya is available throughout the year. Papaya variety. Shahi, Ranchi, Washington, Honeydew, Pusha varieties of papaya and different hybrid varieties imported from abroad are cultivated in our country. Land selection and preparation. High and mid-high loamy or sandy loamy soil is good for papaya cultivation. But by doing proper nursing, papaya can be cultivated in all types of soil. For this, the land must be tilled well 3 to 4 times. Papaya cannot tolerate waterlogging. So you should be noted that. Then seedling production. Collecting seeds from a good and sweet papaya, the white covering of them should be taken off and then should be sown afresh in the seedbed or in the soil in a polybag. After sowing the seeds, necessary amount of irrigation must be given. Seedlings grow in 15 to 20 days. Plantation process. Papaya can be cultivated throughout the year, but for commercial cultivation, the months of Ashin to Kartik or Falgun, Chotro are suitable. 2 months before the selected time, seeds should be sown for production of seedling. Seedlings of 1.5 to 2 months old should be planted. After making 60 cm into 60 cm into 60 cm size seeding bed at 2 meter distances, saplings should be planted in it. 15 days before plantation, fertilizers need to be mixed with the soil of Mada. Then procedure of applying fertilizer. 500 gram TSP, 250 gram gypsum, 25 gram borax, 20 gram zinc sulfate, 15 kg organic or compost for each seedling bed must be mixed properly with the soil. After plantation, when new leaves sprout, urea and MOP 50 gram each must be applied after every 1 month. The amount is made double when the tree blossoms. Even 1 month before the plucking of last fruit, MOP and urea fertilizers should be applied. Intercultural management. In this case of the plant of monosex type 3 saplings are planted in one bed. When blossoms, only one female plant must be kept and the others must be killed. For the benefit of pollination, 10% male plants are kept. If it is certain that fruitage will happen from the flowers, one fruit should be preserved in one fruit stalk and at the rest should be ripped off. The plant should be tied to a bamboo post to avoid being tilted or being uprooted by storm. Disease, pest and remedy. If the soil of the seedbed or the polybag is marshy, the plant may tilt, and if there is any lack of proper drainage system in the field, the adult tree may get infected with stem rot disease in the rainy season. To prevent this fungal disease, proper drainage system must be ensured and the infected tree must be cut off and burnt down. Papaya tree may get infected by mosaic virus and leaf wrinkling virus. Mosaic virus infected leaf gets yellowish color and it looks like mosaic. Because of this disease, the leaf blade becomes thick and fragile. If the virus affects any tree in the garden, the infected trees must be killed and interred. Fruit collection. When the astringent juice of fruit gets the watery state, papaya can be collected as a vegetable. When the peel of the fruit takes light yellowish color, it can be collected as a ripe fruit. Production of fruit varies according to its varieties, but Shahi papaya grows 40 to 50 tons in a hectare. Now come lesson 7, method of keeping agricultural accounts, that means crop production. Many people take crop production as a business, so they calculate the expenditure in crop production and income by selling the products. If the income is more at its expected level than the production cost, it will be worth going for producing that cost. Note this. Income and expenditure in crop production may vary in consideration to place, time and person. To calculate the returns and costs in crop production, we should know about the heads of income and expenditure first. We find 3 heads of expenditure in the crop production, like ingredients cost, supplementary cost and total production cost. Ingredient cost. Ingredient cost may be of 2 types. For example, material ingredient cost and supplementary cost. The expense for seed, fertilizer, irrigation, etc. for crop production is called materialistic ingredient cost. You have to note that the expense of seed, fertilizer, irrigation for crop production is called materialistic ingredient cost. Materialistic ingredient cost can be calculated by using the table below. Here you have to put the serial number, then the ingredients, then per hectare required ingredient per kg, rate of ingredient per taka, cost per hectare per taka. Then other ingredient cost. The expense required for necessary laborer and animal or machinery strength for producing crops is called other ingredient cost. For example, laborer for planting saplings, land tilling cost, etc. Extraneous ingredient cost can be calculated by using the table below. Serial number, description of work, number of laborer or number of tilting, per day wage or per tilling cost, cost per hectare in taka. Then supplementary cost. Interest on the total ingredient cost and land value during crop production is called supplementary cost. You should be note here that interest on the total ingredient cost and land value during crop production is called supplementary cost. Total production cost. Sum total of total ingredient cost and total supplementary cost is called the total production cost. So what is the sum? Sum total of total ingredient cost and total supplementary cost is called the total production cost. So the total production cost equal to total ingredient cost plus total supplementary cost. In crop production, income is divided into 2 types: total income and net income. Total income includes the total income of the produced crops and the byproducts, as in the case of rice cultivation. As for example, the income after selling rice and straws. The residue amount after deduction of the total production cost from the total income is called net income. So net income equal to total income minus total production cost. Will you be able to calculate the net income in papaya cultivation in a given land? To calculate the net income from papaya cultivation, we will have to calculate the income and expenditure as described below. Now see here, material ingredient cost: seed, fertilizer, insecticides, fungus spray, bamboo, thread, irrigation cost. Then extraneous ingredient cost. Number 1, number of laborers and expenses for making seedbed, sowing seeds, nursing saplings and plucking saplings. Number 2, expense for 3 times land tilling and harrowing. Number 3, number of laborers and cost for seedbed preparation, fertilizer mixing, planting saplings. Number 4, expenses for using fertilizer and nursing and collecting crops. Now the supplementary cost. Number 1, calculated interest on the total ingredient cost at the rate of 12.15% during crop production. Number 2, calculated interest on the market value of land at the rate of 12.50 during crop production. My dear students, you will try to do this. Okay, up to this for today. Here, this is up to this for today. So I hope that you will practice very well at home. Stay well, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.